有法师没有位置坐的，请同门就让一个位置给法师坐。顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛。Om
Let us welcome our lineage Guru, His Holiness Living Buddha Lineage, to enter into the Homa hall. Let's pay homage to the three jewels of the altar. We are now inviting the primary supplicants for this Homa to come forward and present the offering of Hatha to the lineage Guru as a symbol of the highest honor.
们以热烈的掌声感谢师尊的赐福。
Let's applaud to show our utmost gratitude to His Holiness. And now we are inviting His Holiness to bless the offering items for the Homa.
感谢师尊的加持，恭请圣尊升法王座。
With great reverence, we are inviting His Holiness to ascend to the Dharma throne. And we are inviting Simu, all the Dharma educators, all the Master's reference, our distinguished guests, and all participants to please be seated. Now we are inviting His Holiness to bless the prayers of the primary supplicants. Thank you so much. We are truly grateful to His Holiness for His blessings. And let's also give a warm welcome to Sumu and also all participating Master's reference, our distinguished guests, and all participants from all over the world. The Home Tara Homa fire offering ceremony has now begun. Clap twice and snap your fingers. Visualize true Buddha lineage. Namo Vairocana Buddha, Namo Buddha Lokana, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Padma Kumara, Namo Living Buddha Lianshan. Visualize Grandmaster and all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas radiating light to bless us. Recite the Guru Mantra 7 times. Recite purification mantras and the authority mantra. Invocation mantra. We sincerely invoke our lineage root guru, the White Mahapadma His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. Our lineage root guru, the White Mahapadma His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. Our lineage root guru, the White Mahapadma His Holiness Living Buddha Liansheng. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Hom Tara. We sincerely invoke the main deity of Homa, Namo Hom Sound Tara. The main deity of Homa, Namo Hom Sound Tara. Yamantaka, Akalanata, the four heavenly kings, Golden Mother of the primordial Jetpan, Sima Bodhisattva, Limbo temples, all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakanis, and divinities. All the deities enshrined at the True Buddha Quarter, at the Seattle Temple, at the abode of the Southern Mountain, and at the True Buddha Seattle Chapter. Limbo temples, all mountain god, earth god, plant god, water god, wind god, heavenly fire god, dragon gods, all divinities as well as the city god, to please radiate light and bless his Homa. First to the Guru and all Buddhas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Second, all Bodhisattvas. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Third, to all Herukas and Dhamma protectors. Visualize full prostration on the ground, release the mudra. Fourth, head bow. Great mandala offering. Form the offering mudra. Visualize the transformations of the offerings. Make the offering above the lineage root guru, the main deity of Homa, Namo Hom Sound Tara, and all Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Herukas, Dhammapalas, Dakinis, and divinities below to all sentient beings. Recite the offering verse and mantra. Mount Meru, four continents, and sun and moon transform into precious offerings for the Buddhas. May these wondrous treasures and merits purge our karma to allow our civilization. For full refuge, visualize our lineage root guru, all the lineage gurus, Buddha jewel, Dhamma jewel, and Sangha jewel to form bright white light to empower us. Recite the mantra. Armor protection. Recite Vajrapani mantra. Inviting His Holiness to perform blessings with mala.
恭请圣尊金刚灵处结界加持报名表格及贡品。
Inviting His Holiness to set ceremonial demarcation to bless the registration forms and all the offerings.
恭请圣尊金刚棒开罗结界。
Inviting His Holiness to perform the ritual of opening the fire pit and set the ceremonial demarcation around it. Inviting His Holiness to lit the Homa fire and to make all the offerings and to perform mudra transformations for purifications, enrichments, magnetization, subjugation, and birth deliverance. The assembly will be reciting the Hat mantra of the main deity of Homa today, the Hom sound Tara. During this time, you may also perform the Homa visualization, the emergence of the main deity, the merging of the deity with the Homa fire and with the practitioner.
为同号阿弥陀佛。回向。
Merit dedication. May Allah uphold the Buddha, ascend to the realm of utmost bliss, reaping powerful generosities from above, aiding those of the three realms below, appreciate the Buddha, transcend life and death like the Buddha, may we liberate all. We dedicate the merit of this ceremony to our lineage root Guru. May you stay healthy, live a long life, continually stay in the Saha world to turn the Dharma wheel. Inviting His Holiness to perform the overall merit dedication. Homage to the home sound Tara, to the 21 Taras. Homage to the 4 guardian mothers, the Akinis of the 8 directions, and the goddesses of the 20 heavens. Homage to all the deities. We pray that you guide the Bardo spirits to be reborn into the pure Buddha lands. We pray that you bless all participants with great health, all karmic sicknesses be eradicated. We pray to the home sound Tara, and we pray that you bestow abundant provisions. Please eradicate our karma. Please enhance our wisdom. Please increase our resources. May we live in harmony with love and respect. And please empower us so that we can eradicate black karma and increase good karma. And may we be able to transform sufferings into happiness and improve our spiritual fruitions to gain boundless radiance. May we be enveloped with auspiciousness during the day, auspiciousness at night, auspiciousness around the clock. Amidst auspiciousness, may the practitioner pray for the blessings by the root Guru, the protection and accompaniment by the protector, and absorption by the yidam. To the gods of heaven, gods of the earth, may we be far from all calamities. May all calamities abandon us. Let all disasters turn into dust. May all enemies and enmities disappear. May all of our prayers be granted. May all hindrances disappear.
Om Pecha Sato Samaya Manupanaya Pecha Sato Tenu Paticha Checho Me Pawa Sutto Kayu Me Pawa Sopo Kayu Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Sawa Siti Me Puraya Cha Sawa Karma Sutta Me Chittamo Siri Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato A Hom Pei Om Pecha Sato Samaya Manupanaya Pecha Sato Tenu Paticha Checho Me Pawa Sutto Kayu Me Pawa Sopo Kayu Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Sawa Siti Me Puraya Cha Sawa Karma Sutta Me Chittamo Siri Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato A Hom Pei Om Pecha Sato Samaya Manupanaya Pecha Sato Tenu Paticha Checho Me Pawa Sutto Kayu Me Pawa Sopo Kayu Me Pawa Anurato Me Pawa Sawa Siti Me Puraya Cha Sawa Karma Sutta Me Chittamo Siri Ren Guru Hom Ha 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 Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Pecha Mami Mancha Pecha Pawa Mahasamaya Sato A Hom Pei 做观想大礼拜，100根本传承上师及诸佛。Om A Hom 观想顶礼，回天津善印，2拜诸菩萨。Om A Hom 观想顶礼，回天津善印，3拜诸护法金刚。Om A Hom 观想顶礼，回天津善印，4平等一起手，念圆满咒。Om Brim Om Brim Om Brim Om Mani Padme Hum， 请大家起立恭敬合掌，恭请圣尊生法王。
Now, please stand up, and together we are inviting His Holiness to take the Dharma teaching seat. Please be seated. Now let's applaud. Let's show our utmost gratitude to His Holiness for this precious Homa fire offering ceremony. And now let's join our palms with reverence, and together let's invite His Holiness for a precious Dharma teaching. First, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming. Homage to Master Sakya Tseng Kong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Thubten Dorje. Homage to the 3 jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Hom Swara Nadini Tara, or the Hom Sound Tara, the 21 Taras, the 4 guardian female deities, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the goddesses from the 20 heavens. 师母。Tanchen Jato Rinpoche and all the Dharma masters, Dharma educators, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the internet. And our participating VIPs today are the Madam to Ambassador Daniel Liao, the Taipei rep to Sweden, Dharma Sister Judy, the accountant to Drubuda School, Dharma Sister Teresa and her husband, the law advisor to Drubuda School, Dharma Sister Jennifer Zhou, from the Voices from Heaven Choir Group from Taiwan, Miss Liao Li-Ying, and Dharma Sister Judy Zhang. And from Brazil, the Sao Paulo University, Dr. Chen. And Dr. Gao. Next Sunday, June 11th at 3 p.m. there would be Homa fire offering ceremony for Amitayus, the Buddha of longevity. Welcome to come, attend the ceremony, and to become the primary supplicant. And today we had the Home Swaranadini Tara, or the Home Sound Tara Homa. And the Home Tara was first transmitted in Kaohsiung, right? Kaohsiung, Taiwan. It was the debut transmission, and today at the Seattle, America, would be the first Homa. And her seed syllable is Hom. And her mudra, which is the Tara mudra. The mantra, the primary mantra. And you visualize this way. Her body is yellow with one face, two shoulders, and she looks 16-year-old, and she's incomparably beautiful. It only exists in heavens and not on earth. And the right hand forms the wishful bestowing mudra, and the left hand is holding a lotus holding mudra. And the lotus has blossomed, and on top of it there's a bow and arrow. That's her appearance. And Hom Santara, she occupies the 5th position of the 21 Taras. And her Dharma practice involves the 3-step Dharmakaya emergence, which is the empty space, the the seed syllable and transformation of it to become the Homtara. And after the three-step Dharmakaya emergence, upon your invocation, she enters into your body. Gradually, your body is exactly the same size as Homtara. So for the Dharma transmission in Kaohsiung, first you recite Om, and the Om seed syllable enters into your body and stay for a while. Place the Om syllable on your navel chakra for a while before you exhale it. The Om is white, and then it's red. It also enters into your body, and let it stay inside your body before you exhale it. And thirdly, it's a blue home that enters into your body, and at the lotus blossom at your heart chakra, and then you keep it, you don't exhale it, and you visualize the blue home to become yellow, that transforms to become Home Soundtara, and then you become Home Soundtara too. So there are two methods. First is that from the sky, the three-step Dharmakaya emergence, and she directly enters into your body and then becomes a yellow home. And the second visualization is you visualize Om, home to enter into your body, and then transform the home character into a yellow home, and that transforms to become Home Soundtara, and then you become Home Soundtara. And then you start to perform the Dharma. If the white home is being exhaled, and then you stick it to a person's body or to your own body, then your karma will be eradicated. And if you stick it to somebody else's body, and that person's karma will be eradicated. So the white home is for purification. If you are sick, then you use the white one, and you perform this Dharma in front of the sick person, and you use the white home to stick to him or her. And the white home can be big or small, and you let out all white homes, and then you stick it to all the houses in the village. That's the same as performing protection for the whole village. So you have purified the whole village, or even bigger than that. You can do it to a county, and you stick all the white homes all over the county. That means you are purifying the county. Or you can even purify a country, like a home syllable that's as big as Taiwan, and then you stick it to the island of Taiwan, and the whole Taiwan is being purified. So from the smallest to the biggest ones. So the white one is for purification, curing illnesses, and for protection. And the yellow home that you exhale, and when you stick the yellow home onto somebody's body, then they would increase their luck and their good fortune. And the red home if you like a lady and you exhale a red home and you stick it to that lady's body, then that's like enticement. And then if you stick it to Grandmaster's body, a red home, then Sijun will go with you. But Grandmaster is very stable and strong because I have a very strong protection. But if you could really stick it to me, then I would go with you. And then there's also the blue home, the blue one. If someone is owing you money and you use the blue home to stick it to him and keep sticking it to him until eventually he would feel like, well, rather than being pursued for debt, I might as well pay it. So that function would happen. Or if someone is not a good person and you use the blue home to stick it on to him or her, that's also for subjugation. Like if your boss is unkind to you, then you stick a blue one to him, then he would respect you. Or you can use red one. No, because then he would fall in love with you. The blue one is better. As we know, the white home symbolizes purification. The yellow home represents enrichment. The red home represents magnetization and attraction, and the blue home represents subjugation. And you utilize this sticking method. A home syllable that you exhale and you stick it to a person. You visualize the person first and then you stick the home to him or her. That's the four karma yoga, performing the different dharma for a certain purpose. So for the details on this home Santara, you can check on the dharma transmission at Kaohsiung that time. I believe it was March 26, 2017. That's my simple introduction. So actually the Buddha said that the Dharma is not fixed. So it can be improvised or it can be changing. You can do the 3-step Dharmakaya emergence outside or inside. Or you can even become the home Santara directly if you have the power to do so. If your visualization power is good enough, then you can become the home Santara immediately. Just now, when we performed the Homa, the home Santara, 21 Taras, the 4 guardian mothers, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the goddesses from the 20 heavens all descended. And not only they descended, they danced in the sky, following the mantra chanting. So they dance following the mantra chanting. So it's the same that they are sending their greetings to all the participants of Homa today. Like, good afternoon, how do you do? Thank you. the one from Brazil kept reminding me to say saúde, which means health. And most importantly, we have to have a healthy body in order to do anything. Without healthy body, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to think. Those in the hospital would only think, would only want to be healthy. They don't think of anything else. I think the most important thing is health. As a human being, we don't want to be sick, otherwise it will be troublesome. No matter what kind of sicknesses, even the smallest kind of ailment like cold, that's quite troublesome. And then when you suffer from severe illness, I find that being sick is the most suffering. I have experienced it myself with cellulitis on my legs. That was really unbearable. I cried several times in Taiwan. And finally I said, okay, finally I healed. We collected that doctors specializing in kidneys, in liver, in infectious diseases, plastic surgery. So many doctors treating me. And finally, they got the strongest antibiotics called Tigicid, that finally we controlled the infection, and then the cellulitis on my legs were cured, and then I announced that my 2 legs have been cured just before I returned to Seattle last year, because my family doctor in America told me that please don't come back because you are well. Well, what nonsense is that? Of course I have to be well. I have to recover before I can come back to Seattle, because I had problem even walking. So if it wasn't cured, if there were some infections inside the veins or there's some blockage, then I would have to be amputated. The sun for amputated in Chinese, 节肢, is for the wish fulfilling jewel. And at that time there would be 节肢, 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 which means amputate. So what kind of guru I would have been? So I would have gone into seclusion. How could I still be here? But then I announced that I recovered, and my both legs have recovered. And I came back to America, and my family doctor examined me just once. He checked if there were any blockage in my veins and arteries. Because if there was a blockage, then it would go up to the heart, and I would have heart attack. I could have heart attack. Then all of a sudden you would just die. So is our columbarium done? Then I would have been sent to the columbarium. So that was an experience that I was in extreme drowsiness, exhaustion, complete exhaustion because of the injection. And I continued to lead Dharma ceremonies and teachings. But finally I recovered. And after I announced my recovery, someone made use of that chance and organized a Homa fire offering ceremony organized by all the chapters in Taiwan. And she said that she would help my recovery and be a substitute for me. That was organized by X. It was a huge ceremony, and it was conducted by everybody, all the chapters in Taiwan, and the Homa courts alone were as big as this Homa hall. It was all offered by many people. So they used the Tibetan method of Homa to burn them all. And there were lots of money in there. Oh, money coming home. And then she got all this money because, and when I learned of that, that was good. Everybody was helping me, and she claimed that she substituted for me, but her legs were not swollen. So she made use of my legs to do the Homa and get a lot of money. But she didn't even offer a cent to me. So my legs were really sad because you made use of my legs to perform the Homa. At least you should give me a cup of soup. Talking about money, I feel bad. But I don't want it, actually. It was just a joke. You know, she has not made any offering to me for 16 years, but I never asked her for it. My guru taught me never ask for any money from anybody. So for this past 16 years, thank you. That I didn't even have a chance to sign my name, because signing my name is also tiresome. Prior to talking about Lamdre, her referent wrote a letter. Last year, X taught us, don't be afraid to go to hell. Now is a good beginning to practice yourself to be in hell. When you think of the suffering of hell, you would be scared. Then you should always think of the light in your mind, because when there is light, the hell will disperse. And this referent asked Grandmaster, if there is still a human life, you can think this way. But if you have let go of a human body, it's impossible. The Buddha knows that transcendental power does not overcome the karma. So I sincerely beseech the lineage Guru to teach us. Let me tell you, it's very easy to fall into hell. If you have greed, if you have generated a thought of greed, then you would fall into hell. Because all the actions due to greed would be harmful towards sentient beings. Why do you get angry? Greed, anger. because you don't get what you want. Why are you so foolish? Because you still have greed. That's because you have ignorance. So of the greed, anger, and delusion, greed was the most severe. And anger and delusion follow greed. So the three poisons in Buddhism are greed, anger, and delusion, or ignorance. If you have no greed, there is no need for you to practice to be in hell. Naturally, there would be light inside your body, and hell will not manifest. So what she said was upside down. It's a mistake. It's wrong. If you're in hell, then you think of the light, then it would be dispersed. That's what she taught her followers. In hell, and you need to think of the light. But once you get to hell, there's no light whatsoever. Right? Because if there is light inside your heart, you will not go to hell. His Holiness the 16th Karmapa told us the most important thing is to maintain the light in your heart. No matter what situation you're in, even when you're sick, you still need to manifest the light of your bodhicitta. In any situation, any environment, any failures or downsides, you still need to think of the light inside your heart. There's no need to go to hell, because once you fall into hell, there's no more light. Why can't you even think of light in hell? You can't even live the bodhicitta there, because before you can even generate that thought, you would suffer. The suffering is so tremendous that you can't think of anything. When you're deep fried in the hot oil, can't you think of light at that time? You couldn't even bear the suffering. You were in great pain and burn. How could you think of anything else? In the hells of burning fire, or the rolling wheels, like when the wheels are like rolling on top of your body, you suffered so greatly that you couldn't think of anything else, and there's no light whatsoever. But anyone with light, with bodhicitta in their heart, they will not go to hell. There's no need to train. The Buddha said that the three lower realms are not appropriate for spiritual cultivation. That's in the solitary hierarchy path. Sakyamuni Buddha said, there is no spiritual cultivation in the three lower realms, including the hungry ghost realm. The animal realm, it's impossible to train, to cultivate yourself. Like if you ask chicken to please form a mudra, and you ask the chicken to chant a mantra, impossible. It's impossible for a chicken or duck or goose. They don't know how to cultivate spiritually. Even lions, tigers, they can't. cultivate spiritually. Or elephants, they can't cultivate spiritually. So in the animal realm, you can't cultivate spiritually. And in the hungry ghost realm, you're so hungry, you're starving. The throat is like a needle and the stomach is huge. Like, what analogy I should use? Think about it. Like a pregnant woman. That's what they said. The tummy is huge, the stomach is huge, but the throat is like the needle eye. And how could you feel full? It's never fulfilled, no matter how you eat. So the hell of rolling wheels, how can you cultivate spiritually? So in the three lower realms are appropriate for spiritual cultivation. In the Asura realm, it's like all fightings and it's also inappropriate. And in heavens, people are just enjoying too much. Too much pleasure is also inappropriate for spiritual cultivation. Only in the human world is appropriate. That's why the Buddhas come from the human realm. Only in the human realm can a sentient being cultivate spiritually, not in any of the other 6 rebirth realms. Sakyamuni Buddha have said it very clearly. Impossible to cultivate spiritually there. So, Acts taught everybody, don't be afraid to fall into hell. So go to hell with bravery, with courage. That's what she meant. And train how to be in hell. You should think of the light inside your heart. How can you have light if you have gone to hell? Because Yama King is a serious matter. He would not just catch anyone to go to hell to suffer. You know, hell, simply said, is inside your heart. If you want to go to the Buddha land, how? Your body is the Dharma ship, Dharma boat. It's impossible to think of the light of bodhicitta when you're in hell. That's nonsense. What she was saying was wrong. Because you have evil thoughts, you have greed, that's why you fall into hell. And once you are in hell, it's too late. Nobody can save you. But she said, she claimed that you have to train how to be in hell, to generate light in your heart. There's no light there. Light is trained in the human world, in the Saha world. Your bodhicitta, mind of bodhicitta, the renunciation mind. In the Madhyamaka, there are 3 important points. It's the renunciation mind is to abandon the 6 rebirth realms. And second is the bodhicitta, the mind for enlightenment for the sake of other beings. Is you just do good deeds. And then third, you need the Buddha Dharma for the Yogacara and Madhyamaka. That's Buddha Dharma. So these 3 things are the most important. Let me tell you. So when this reverend heard it, should know that you don't train to be in hell, but you train now in the human world. When you're in hell, there's no time to cultivate spiritually. There's not even enough time to suffer. It's a spaceless hell, which means there's no space for anything else, just sufferings. Just the sufferings is non-stop, ceaseless. It's not like, oh, I suffered and now it stopped. And then there's another suffering and then you'll get a break. Then you don't suffer anymore. Like when you go to class, you suffer, and then when you get out of class, you're happy. No, that's not the case in hell. The hell is spaceless. It's a ceaseless, continual suffering. There's no space in between. How can you train anything? Talking about the second point, the teaching of the path of the fruit. Sometimes in reading Lamdre, it's a very mind-boggling. It's the path, it's fruit, and now it's the path of the fruit. Oh, jeez. But it's okay, it's the same. Remember when I sang? There was a statement at the end. No suffering and no griefs. There was another version. There's no pains and no griefs. So what's the difference between 苦痛 and 痛苦? It's like flip. Which one is right? They're both right. It's just the flip of the Chinese. So 道果, which is path and fruit and path. Second is the teaching of the path of the fruit. So you first teach the fruit and then you teach the path, or you first teach the path and then the fruit. So in Lamdre, the so-called fruit refers to the path naturally transforming into the intrinsic nature of the path. So because the fruit exists, that's why there is a path going to the fruit. So the path of the fruit is just a symbol. It is transformed into the fruit together with the cause, which is the fruit together with the path, the empowerments, the realizations, the school missions, all simultaneously utilized. Like what I said, Injian and Mingjian in Chinese are the same. The spirits. I want to correct a mistake last night. I talked about the fireflies. There was a song that's really cute. a song about the fireflies, and she used that. Last night I said that the fireflies in New Zealand were waiting for her for 500 years. Oh, I have to correct it. Actually, they have been waiting for her for 110,000 years. 110,000 years to come and but to deliver them. When I thought of the 110,000 years, oh my gosh. The history of China is only 5,000 years. So how many times China's history would that be? 22 times of China's histories, and the fireflies were there waiting for her. And she wrote it on the internet, claiming that the fireflies had been waiting for her for 110,000 years, which meant that 110,000 years ago the fireflies knew that X would be there, that they want to gather together there to have X bird to deliver them. So before China there was X. So 22 times of China's histories, X already existed, and the fireflies waited for her. So you use logic to induce. And Sakyamuni Buddha had not become a Buddha then. He was still a Bodhisattva. He was still on the Bodhisattva path, because Sakyamuni Buddha's Buddhahood was only about 2,500 years ago. So this is the longest time span that you were talking about. There may be a joke about longer time in the future, who knows. But think about it though. Oh. So for the comparison by self-logic is not right, and the measurement or comparison by comparison is also not right, and according to the teachings of the gurus also not right, because at that time they were not Buddhism, because Buddhism was founded by Sakyamuni Buddha in this world. You know, because at that time there was no term about Bardo deliverance, because Bardo deliverance only existed after Buddhism started, because Buddhism was founded 2,600 years ago. So only then Buddhism was talking about Bardo deliverance. So let me ask you, what are you Bardo delivering, or where? 110,000 years ago? And the fireflies knew? So you're destroying the sequence of the universe. You're distracting my thought. In our Buddhist study, we started with the self-measurement, and then second with the logics of pramana, and then the measurement through the teachings of the previous sages, and they did not even exist then. So the longest countries was China, India, Babylon, and Egypt. And yet the fireflies have lived longer than the longest countries in the world. I don't know what to say. It's impossible to think about. So please don't disturb us anymore. I can't stand it anymore. If I continue to talk about your lies and stories, I would go mad. I would become crazy. Even if Sakyamuni Buddha sees you, she would kneel and ask to become a guru. So the King Sun Tzu, she claimed that the King Sun Tzu was her disciple, and she was the national teacher Yiling. Like today, if Sangyen Lu were Sakyamuni Buddha, I would take refuge in you, and please let me go. Please don't disturb me anymore. That was the correction. In Lamdre, it was mentioned the teaching of knowing one is equal knowing many. Knowing the key formulas to the start of the affinity of the channels, seeds, and vital energy of the mind in one's body. By knowing this one, just by knowing this one, it is the phenomena of reincarnation and nirvana as experienced by a Mahasiddha, and knowing it without a doubt. This is not written very clearly, but in short, it is the teaching of the start of the affinity of the outer, inner, and secret Tantra. I once have said, what is a Dharma boat or Dharma ship? Your body is the Dharma boat. Everyone's body is a Dharma boat. You have to rely on your own boat to cultivate spiritually. Rely on your own body to cultivate spiritually, to go to the Buddha land, to be reincarnated, or to enter into nirvana. Two things, reincarnation or nirvana. That's the knowledge of this, that's the teaching. Our body is one, but we can know a lot of things. Of course, the one that knows the most is X. She knows the most. Before Sakyamuni Buddha was born, she already existed. And the fireflies also existed. But please, let me ask, how long can fireflies live? 20 days. Let's talk about the logic here. Okay, if the fireflies are, if there's this reasoning, okay, the inference. So if the fireflies are like generations after generations, okay? Fireflies going generations after generations, all through 110,000 years, in order to know that X will come by that place at a certain time. But let me tell you again, the Buddha once said, even a bodhisattva would forget about his past life. If you're a bodhisattva and you descend onto the Saha world, you would have forgotten that you were a bodhisattva. But you have close affinity with the Buddha, and you would encounter Buddha Dharma, and you would start your Buddhist training again from the beginning. So even a bodhisattva has the forget about the past life. How can the fireflies remember? So it's impossible for the fireflies to always remember for 110,000 years, or even generation after generation. That's impossible. From 110,000 years ago till now. So think about it. Use logic. Can fireflies do that? That 110,000 years ago. Is it possible? Impossible. How come it's so soft? Why didn't you say louder? Did you think that it's possible? That's such a nonsense. It's just everything she said was bragging or boastful. What I wrote was about the pramana, which is the proof or the mean of knowledge about, self-knowledge or knowledge by comparison or knowledge through the lineage gurus. But 110 years ago, there were no saints and sages, no gurus to teach us, because Buddhism hasn't even started. So she's like Atta, which is like mad person. A young person asked his mom, am I handsome and cool? Am I a cool dude? And mom said, I don't know, ask your girlfriend. And the young man said, I have no girlfriend. And the mom said, then you know what the answer is. So that's inference, that's the reasoning, right? Why don't you have a girlfriend if you're tall and handsome? And if you're rich, you'll have so many girls chasing after you. So that's reasoning or inference. A middle-aged man asked a fish seller at the market, is the fish fresh? And he replied, see, the fish is still jumping, so isn't that fresh? And the middle-aged said, I don't know, my wife is also jumping all over. but I don't find her to be fresh at all. That's two inference. Fish to be fresh, and when the fish is still jumping and moving around, then the fish is fresh. So that's the inference. Like if you want to check if a fish is fresh, you look at the eye. If the fish is dead, look at the eyes. Then you would know whether the fish is fresh or not. That's our knowledge or inference through self-knowledge. And then he said, but my wife is also jumping and moving around, but I don't find her to be fresh. Because you've been married for a long time and you start to get tired of it. Doesn't matter how cute she is, it's just not cute anymore. So that's a kind of feeling. So that's comparison, because you've been married. Like now, Sumu is also alive and moving around, and she's dancing in the line dance and going like this. Walk a few steps here, walk a few steps there, lifting the legs and moving the arms. And at the end, it's always like this. So I see her alive and moving around. But is it fresh? You are right, fresh. Because every day she wears nice clothes. She would wear new clothes to show to me, and sway a hip. And I was writing my book, and she asked me, "Why don't you look at me?" And okay, what should I look at? And then she showed me, and I said, "Okay, it's good, nice looking, fresh." See, we still get along really well. So our feelings or perceptions comes from our mind, from our heart. The same in the Buddhist study. This joke, my wife is in Cold War with me, so I ordered a bouquet of roses and asked the seller to write on the card, "I'm sorry, I love you," with a comma. And when the roses got to my wife's hands, she got mad, even worse, even more mad, because in the card there was no comma on the card. So "I'm sorry, I love you." See, just with one comma, it's very important. So what X said, so with the same statement, actually it's different meanings. You need to pay attention where the punctuations are. And through our knowledge by the previous gurus, if you have a lineage guru if you are single-minded in the refuge, no matter what the lineage guru does, then you have to make him happy. Then he would transmit a lot of Dharma teachings to everybody. Fundamentally, a disciple toward the lineage guru don't make the lineage guru worry or miserable. You want to make your root guru happy. So, as an example, you don't make any offering for 16 years. I didn't dare to say anything. Now that you've left, that I said this. Otherwise, I didn't say anything because I didn't want any money from you. But every year, you can just give a red pocket like Zheng San Yan once a year. He has this habit that he loves to give Grandmaster a red envelope in front of many people as a proof that he does give a red envelope to Grandmaster. But you know, the envelope is as thin as a piece of paper. No matter how I look at it, it's just one piece. But I still love him anyway. In any case. Because it's not that I want a lot of money from you, but I want that you have the heart, and your heart is this. It's good enough that you have the heart to do so. So it's very simple, right? You can discern it very simply. So knowing one is equal knowing many, the teaching of it. Knowing one is the same as knowing many. Let me tell you, in your Dharma practice, if you generate bodhicitta, the mind for enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings, and if you are mindful toward light and you do good deeds, this way you can eradicate your karma. How do you make yourself emit your own heart light? You use your body to perform good deeds, to do charities. All you do is good. And you study the correct Dharma, and you form the mudra, you visualize the image of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and to let the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas to enter into your body, into your heart, and to let the lotus blossom of your heart open, and to let the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas enter, because your heart is not dirty, and to generate light. Then your heart would be full. Then you would be content. Then that would be enough. If you cultivate spiritually accordingly, that would be enough. There's no need to learn too much. Or you learn this and you learn that. No need. Because many is the same as one. See, if you gain spiritual union with the home sound Tara, it's the same as you gain spiritual union with the 21 Taras, and to the 4 guardian mothers, the 8 directional Dakinis, and the goddesses from the 20 heavens. And even you reach the highest Prajna Buddha Mother, you would be in spiritual union. That's for sure. So, as soon as you gain spiritual union with one deity, you are in spiritual union with all deities. Once you gain spiritual union with Padma Kumara, above it, there would be spiritual union with Amitabha. And then above, Buddha Lokana, and above with Vairocana, and then with the 5 Dhyani Buddhas, and then to the highest one, the Adharma Buddha. So that's the teaching of knowing one is equal to knowing many. Om Mani Padme Hum. We are very grateful to the precious Dharma teaching of our lineage Guru.
Xin 圣尊为引会大众赐受弘一度母法灌顶，凡有皈依结缘灌顶。 我们以热烈的掌声，感谢根本传承上师赐授弘音度母法冠底。顶礼坛城做观想大礼拜，一拜根本传承上师及诸佛，嗡啊吽，观想顶礼回天心三音，二拜诸菩萨，嗡啊吽，观想顶礼回天心三音，三拜诸护法金刚，嗡啊吽，观想顶礼回天心三音，四平等与举手。护摩法会圆满即将结束了，感谢根本传承上师的大加持，感谢师母、诸位上师、教授师、法师、讲师、助教贵宾、同门善信大德的护持，谢谢大家，阿弥陀佛。We now conclude this live broadcast. Thank you for viewing.